Slave DiBiase.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is another live 420 sesh with your boy, Slave DiBiase, aka Slay Daniel Richards, aka Victor Von Slay, aka Tony Spark. And this is another live episode of the Offenders Initiative podcast. All my stoneheads, all my offenders, all my official folks that always rocking with me during their 420. I just want to say thank y'all, because you could have been anywhere in the world for your 420, your 320, your 220, your 120, but you're here with me. Now, salute to the chat, everybody that's pulling up, all the viewers or whatever. Salute to y'all, because without y'all doing what y'all doing, I can't keep doing what I'm doing. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because that tells me y'all like what I'm doing, so that I can continue doing what I'm doing, which ain't nothing but just I'm just your cousin Slay, man. We in the old school Chevy outside the house. Grandma in the she cooking and all that. She don't know we out back smoking weed, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show you this crazy shit on my phone. But now, check it out, man. House of the Dragon season 3 trailer. All my Game of Thrones nerds. Yo, what we doing? What we doing? Have you seen the trailer? What we doing? Also today, unfortunately, my man just cannot contain himself from staying out somebody's news. That boy Jim Jones done went viral again for crashing out, man. I swear to God, y'all boys need to leave 50 Cent alone, man. He gonna have y'all crashing out and kicking doors, man. But that's another goddamn story, man. You know what I'm saying? Got a little bit of MCU news today for all my blurs on my MCU folks, and also too, we gonna check out some of the y'all might call it slop, I call it great work of this new app called Seedance 2.0. Hey, the AI app. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The Seedance 2.0. Who is this? Crystal Robinson. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel, Crystal. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Yeah. So have y'all heard of the whole Seedance 2.0 app that's been doing all of this AI work? In 2 years, depending on how these apps work, if Hollywood don't want to give us certain movies, bro, we gonna end up as fans and all of that. We gonna end up doing these movies on our own. Can you make another Life of You Searching for the Window? Okay, you know what? Yeah. We gonna go ahead and I don't even know what that is. Yeah. Can we make another Life of You? Look, I don't have any moderators, right? So if you say something crazy on my chat or whatever, or I don't understand it, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and get you up out of there, because I'm gonna assume it's disrespect. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time for nothing like that. We all here. We having a good little sesh. Make sure you roll up. You know what I'm saying? Get your bowl ready. Get your blunt ready. Get your joint ready. Whatever you're gonna have. Tell me the strain of the day in the comments, man. And today we're gonna start off with the House of the Dragon season 3 trailer. First we're gonna go to everything awesome. Y'all know I love everything awesome, right? So let's go here. This is HBO Max's House of the Dragon season 3 trailer. Let's check it out.
Where were you?
Alicent came to Dragonstone. She will open the gates of the Red Keep and surrender to me.
You cannot trust her. The king has abdicated the throne. A new dawn is coming. A new line of unsullied kings. You are the Queen of Dragons. You have an absolute power within your grasp.
Soon or late, Rhaenyra will send her new dragons here. It would be the end.
This is the moment you become queen.
Okay. How we feeling about that? I'm gonna run it back one more time before we move into the breakdown of all this and we react to that. Keep smoking, roll up, roll up. I know y'all just rolled up. I know y'all just packing y'all bowls and all of that. Nobody's prepared. I'm gonna run it one more time. Let's take a look.
Where were you?
Alicent came to Dragonstone. She will open the gates of the Red Keep and surrender to me.
You cannot trust her.
The king has abdicated the throne. A new dawn is coming. A new line of unsullied kings.
You are the Queen of Dragons. You have an absolute power within your grasp.
Sooner or late, Rhaenyra will send her new dragons here. It would be the end.
This is the moment you become queen.
That just looks fire to me. House of the Dragon season 3 trailer. Now they're calling this a teaser, but this is officially a trailer right here. How y'all feeling about that so far? It looked like it was it's getting back to that good old Game of Thrones bloodiness, that goriness that we all know and love. The reason why we keep coming back to this show every year. Yeah. But on top of that, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all the official breakdown of this here trailer. You feel me? Because it was a good trailer. It really was a good trailer. All right. Now, the breakdown for the trailer, we're gonna react to my boy Ryan Airy with Screen Crush. He don't hold no cut cards. I love the man's work. Let's check it out. Hold on. Gotta share like y'all. All right.
Before we break down the trailer, let me give you a reminder of where we left off last season. The Targaryen Civil War has officially begun. The Greens, led by Otto Hightower and his daughter Alicent, put her son Aegon II on the throne. But then he was badly burned, and his dragon was crippled. His brother Aemon wants the throne for himself, so Larys Strong smuggled Aegon and his injured dragon out of the city. Meanwhile, Aemon takes the Iron Throne and abandons the forces of Criston Cole up in the Riverlands, which is close to Daemon's host at Harrenhal. Now, Daemon last season saw visions of the future. He saw ice zombies, the three-eyed raven, and Daenerys Targaryen. So
Daemon already dreamed up. Remember, this series takes place, I want to say 200 years before the original Game of Thrones, the Fire and Ice series that we all fell in love with, which is what made all these spinoffs. Daemon is seeing a prophecy of what's going to happen in the future with Daenerys and the dragons and the Night King and all of that. And I want to say this fever dream, as they call it, has been in their family like since the very beginning, since day one. They've always had people who are prophetic in their family and have had these prophecies and these dreams that just won't go away. Some of them endure the dream and turn into something else. Some of them, like you saw in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, one of the Targaryen brothers, he's a drunk. He's a drunk because it helps him sleep. He doesn't have the crazy dreams.
now he is dedicated to winning this war at any cost because he believes the entire world is at stake. After the death of Rhaenys Targaryen and her dragon, Rhaenyra's forces now need new dragons because they're outnumbered. So she recruits 3 bastards called Dragon Seeds to claim dragons of their own. These are Ulf White, Hugh Hammer, and Adam Hull.
You would say to yourself, do they have black characters in Game of Thrones? Yes, they do. Him, his brother, and his father. Now, him and his brother are bastards because their father is like the king. He's Valerian, but he has Targaryen blood. This is a black man with a blonde beard and blonde dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? You know he a part of the Targaryen family. But these two kids, him and his brother, they're also Targaryen, Valerian, whatever you want to call them. They're kin to the sea snake. We don't know how this whole situation of him not claiming them or whatever, but they're bastards. But I'll tell you this much, in the Game of Thrones universe, most of the time the bastards be the most toughest motherfuckers in the whole universe.
Alicent realizes that her son Aemond is actually a monster and that she wildly misunderstood her husband's dying words, so she decides to end the war by letting Rhaenyra into the Red Keep. And this pretty much is where this season picks up, with Rhaenyra's counselors and her son urging her to not trust Alicent. So the trailer starts with Alicent returning to the Red Keep while her son Aemond sits on the throne. Notice she is now wearing blue instead of green. See, when Alicent was a girl and had her whole life ahead of her, she always wore blue. It was her favorite color. But after she found out that her best friend / secret crush Rhaenyra was sleeping around,
when she found out Rhaenyra was a creature of the night, she realized that there would be no lesbianic activities going on, so she caught a little case of the ass, and this is where all this shit started. Really, this whole war is between those two women. Now they're caught in between all these men of power, but it's really her and Rhaenyra.
Opted to wear the colors of her house, green. So this gave her side of the Civil War their name, the Greens, but it's also a symbol of how Alicent became ensnared by the conflicts of men seeking power. But now she has freed herself from that conflict and is wearing her original favorite color, blue. Notice, of course, that the Iron Throne has more swords than we saw in the original series. In George R.R. Martin's books, it's actually a great huge mound of swords, but they toned that down for the original show. Now, Aemond is immediately suspicious of his...
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I have been looking for an Iron Throne to put in my house for the longest, and I can't find one. Hold on, I want y'all to see what I'm talking about.
Swords than we saw in the original series. In George R.R. Martin's books, it's actually a great huge mound of swords, but they toned that...
That is a fire chair. Like, if I could find a gaming chair like this with all the swords in it and all that, that shit would be crazy. You feel me?
Down for the original show. Now, Aemond is immediately suspicious of his mom.
Where were you?
Remember, Aemond is a second son who has always been...
Aemond is dangerous. Does anybody watch this series? This fool took out his brother. For real. No, he took out his cousin. For real, for real. And he slick hoping that his brother would have died, which is why they snuck him out of the city, because if not, this motherfucker right here might kill him in his sleep.
Driven by his need to feel respected. For his entire life, people have tried to control him, his brother, his father, and especially his mother. So he's relishing the chance to prove that he's not a mama's boy and to put her in her place, which is frankly what drove her to Rhaenyra to begin with. And then Rhaenyra fills in her counselors on the new arrangement while they oversee the Great Stone Table. Now this is a map of Westeros. Aegon the Conqueror forged this map before his conquest, and we saw Stannis Baratheon and Daenerys Targaryen both use it in Game of Thrones, although they kept it in a much smaller room. And then we see Sir Criston Cole, the former member of the Kingsguard who wanted to run away with Rhaenyra, but then she shot him down faster than a knife fight in a phone booth, and he's wanted revenge ever since.
Tender dick ass boy. You mad because all she wanted was to get her back cracked, and you fell in love after one session of back cracking, sir. Sir Christian Cole is so fucking soft to me. He riding with the ops just because he mad because she ain't want to get with him. Sucker.
In this season, he's leading the Greens army north into the Riverlands where Daemon is garrisoned at Harrenhal. Now later in the trailer, as Daemon says absolute power, we see Criston Cole crouching in a dragon's footprint. Remember, last season, he finally saw the ferocity of two dragons fighting.
Nah, seriously, ill will. Look at that. Look at his face. Stupid ass face. If he would have just played it cool in season 1, right? When he cracked Rhaenyra, right? If he'd have just played it cool, he would have been there. But he got all in his feelings talking about I'm not gonna be your whore. I'm not gonna be your whore. What man talks like that? I will be your whore. What you talking about?
And it really shook him. This season, he's going to be reckoning with that reality, that he and all of his armies are insignificant in the face of this kind of destruction. Well, I gotta go. Where are you going?
Hold on. As cute as that dog is, I don't get paid for this part right here. I'm gonna get it right here. Sorry, Ryan Airy. My bad, my boy. All right, here we go.
Thoughts of Alicent returning to the Red Keep, intercut with Rhaenyra's oldest son, Jace. So here's something we did not get in the book. Like, the book is all third-hand accounts from a Septon and a Fool, written like years later. We see shots of Alicent. The book is all third-hand intercut with Rhaenyra's oldest son.
And then you trying to run away with this right here, bro. He was trying to run away with this right here. She got a husband, was sleeping with somebody else, got pregnant by him. Then she laid down with her uncle. That ain't what you bring home, bro. Sir Christian Occult was tender dick about this motherfucker right here. If y'all don't watch the show, man, this creature of the night, although I do like her character, she's a woman of the night. Sorry. She get around. 304 activity. And here's the thing, she don't hide it.
On Jace. So here's something we did not get in the book. Like, the book is all third-hand accounts from a Septon and a Fool, written like years later by a Maester. They had no idea that Aegon ever wrote a prophecy or that Alicent and Rhaenyra were such close friends. Their relationship and their love for each other is the heart of this story. See, all the two of them ever wanted to do was ride around on dragons together. But then the politics of these men got in their way and turned them into enemies. So Rhaenyra knows that she can trust Alicent because of their connection, a connection that is a secret from the rest of the kingdom and won't be recorded in the history books. And then we see a shot of Baelor.
Honestly, I'm not mad at Rhaenyra for still having some smoke and still wanting to get her get back with everything that's going on. She did lose a kid. Like, honestly, that's been the ongoing theme throughout this entire show. Each one of them have lost a child due to this war, and they're all family. That shit kind of crazy, bro.
Targaryen, one of Daemon's twin daughters, riding her dragon Moondancer over the waters of the Gullet. Remember, her twin sister Rhaena did not have a dragon, but then season 2 ended with her approaching a wild dragon named Sheepstealer, which is a variation from the books when a commoner named Nettles earned the dragon's trust by bringing it sheep to eat. So this is our first look at the Battle of the Gullet, one of the biggest battles we will ever see in any.
And I can't wait. That 85-inch is going to be up and running with all this craziness that's going to happen here. As a matter of fact, I might go get me a surround sound because I need to hear all the flames behind my head. I need to feel like I'm there when the dragons start setting shit on fire. I need to feel like I'm there. This is peak Game of Thrones to me. Now, everybody's saying that they love A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I'm fucking with the show too, but House of the Dragon, no let up. Every episode has consequences that shapes into the next episode, that shapes the future of that universe. House of the Dragon is fire.
Game of Thrones show. Last season, Tywin Lannister traveled to the Free Cities to seek the aid of the Triarchy. This is an alliance of 3 of the Free Cities, Lys, Myr, and Tyrosh. They were governed by a council of like 30 people plus, so they weren't an effective government for very long. But at this time and place, they are the largest naval power in the world. Westeros' fleet is largely owned and controlled by Corlys Velaryon, aka the Sea Snake. He sees the Triarchy as a major threat to his own Corlys Velaryon, aka the Sea Snake.
Put some respect on the Sea Snake, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he the right hand of the king. Look at that. Y'all see that? He's the right hand of the king. He pretty much rules where he at. He him. The only person higher than him is the king. This is what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I'm talking about, man.
He sees the Triarchy as a major threat to his own wealth and power, so he has sided with Rhaenyra. Now, all of this is happening right when Rhaenyra says,
excuse me, the only person higher than him is the queen. And because he's been ruling for so long, she really get up out his way and let him do his thing.
Her youngest sons, Aegon and Viserys, to travel to the Free Cities for their own safety. So they'll be caught right in the middle of this crossfire. Like 150 ships are destroyed in this battle. No spoilers, but it is going to be one of the biggest showpieces of the season and one of the biggest fights we've ever seen in Game of Thrones. So as we hear,
the king has abdicated.
Hold up, Ryan area. I don't know. Because when it was all of Westeros or whatever, versus the Night King and all of his ice zombies, that was a pretty crazy fight, and it was more than one of them. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm ready to see this though.
To the throne.
We see Aegon the Burned fighting with Larys Clubfoot.
All right, bro. Nah, he didn't have to call him Aegon the Burnt. Come on, man.
So as we hear,
The king has abdicated the throne.
we see Aegon the Burned hiding with Larys Clubfoot, who is the master of spies who, like I said earlier, smuggled him out of the city. Well, why did they leave? Well, after Aegon was injured, his brother Aemond became king regent while his brother was recuperating. But like I said, Aemond is really power hungry.
Aemon will take that fool out while he weak and be like, oh no, he died. I guess we need a new king now, right? Oh, but who shall we get? Oh, look, it's me. That's the type of shit Damon be on, bro. He probably would have took his little brother up out of there. I ain't gonna lie.
He wants the throne for himself. He's that kind of Targaryen. And Aegon's dragon is still alive, but near death, and it can't fly any longer.
Excuse me, his big brother.
And then we see a war map with these folds in it, which I think implies that it's a map that's being used out in the field. I think this is Daemon's hand that places a dragon on this castle. So based on contextual clues and the positions here, I think this is Daemon planning on how to retake King's Landing. The city is lightly defended, so there's only 2 icons on it, and the naval forces are in Blackwater Bay as he places a new dragon, symbolizing one of the dragons of the Dragon Seeds, who are the bastards that Rhaenyra just legitimized. And then we see a field camp with green pavilions, probably part of Criston Cole's army. This dragon is probably Tesseron, the Blue Queen. She is ridden by Darren, Alicent's youngest son, who has been in Old Town for the war thus far. In fact, we've not even seen him once in this show, except
this war is about to be ugly, and I'm here for it.
When he was really small. Now, this is right when we see Ormond Hightower, who is Lord of House Hightower and the nephew of Otto Hightower. So he would be Alicent's cousin. And this takes us to Aemond's dragon, Vhagar, the oldest and largest and baddest dragon alive. Aemond always wants to be on the attack at all times, so he goes off on a tear.
I ain't gonna lie to you. As crazy as Aemon is, when he first went to get control of Rhaegar, he went as a small boy. Like, nah, you gonna listen to me. Dragon damn near killed him. He trying to ride. The dragon damn near killed him, but he tamed him. And now he's got the legendary biggest dragon in all of the land. And he's evil with his evil ass.
Burning the Riverlands and anybody else who sided with the other team. And then we see Rhaenyra looking through fire. And I'm wondering if this could be at the first battle of Tumbleton, which is a huge conflict in the books that I will not spoil for you guys. This is right when Daemon says,
You are the Queen of Dragons.
So much of this series has been about Rhaenyra, I think up to now, using half measures. She tried to play the political game.
See? And this is how I know she's going to turn up this season. When you got a person that's trying to be political, trying to do things the right way, and it's just not being respected or it's being taken advantage of, when that person flips the switch and really turns up the way that you don't think they can, it can get overly loaded and dangerous. I'm telling you. She done already lost a kid. And she's still trying to be cool, but now it's over with now.
And keep the peace. She was trying to rule like her father would have wanted, but now she's listening to her uncle, who is always a fighter first and
AKA her husband as well.
sorting out the bodies later. In fact, that's actually how we introduced Daemon in this show. In his very first scene, he led the Gold Cloaks to decimate the underworld of Flea Bottom. And then we get several shots of the Battle of the Gullet. The Sea Snake looking up, surprised. Maybe he sees one of the 10 dragons that are in this battle. My guess would be Vhagar. We also know that this ship belongs to the Sea Snake because we see his sigil in the background. And the commander here is Alan of Hull, who is the brother of Adam of Hull, the dragon.
See? Another so-called bastard. The bastards are the tough guys in this universe. Dragons, prophecy, and bastards. That's what pushes the Game of Thrones universe.
Rider. Now, earlier I said that they were the bastard sons of Laenor, which is true in the book.
Salute Jamie Lanier.
Laenor is gay, so they made them the bastard sons of Corlys instead. Or maybe it's also this way in the book, but history just records them as being Laenor's show. Laenor is gay, so he was the brother of Adam of Hull, the Dragon Rider. Now, earlier I said that they were the bastard sons of Laenor, which is true in the book, but in the show, Laenor is gay. So they made them the bastard sons of Corlys instead. Or maybe it's also this way in the book, but history just records them as being Laenor's bastards because his sexuality was not publicly known. Either way, Corlys Velaryon does have Targaryen blood, meaning that his bastards could claim a dragon. This is Daemon riding his dragon, Caraxes the Bloodworm. I don't want to give anything away, but this is probably in the Riverlands. Then these soldiers wearing black and red draw swords in front of the Iron Throne. So these could be forces loyal to the Greens. In the book, the forces that belong to the Greens all changed their dragon sigils to gold to match the color of Aegon's dragon Sunfire. But they didn't really do that in the show, so these forces could be loyal to the Greens, like maybe Alicent Hightower is sitting on the throne after her son Aemond has left to cause havoc, but she's actually about to abdicate to Rhaenyra. Or this could be Rhaenyra on the throne, and the soldiers are drawing swords when Alicent or Otto enter the throne room. And then we see, this is so cool, the Winter Wolves. These are the forces carrying the banner of House Stark. Note the
Now, don't forget, we have seen Aegon affectionately now known as Aegon the Burnt. We now have seen him, right? Meaning he's revving up possibly for a comeback. If he gets better and that dragon gets better, he gonna win a 1v1 versus his cousin. Well, excuse me, versus his brother. I'm telling you, he's gonna win one.
Grey Wolf, and they are running into battle. Now, it's not really in the show, but in the book, Jace actually had a very long experience in the North. He became best buds with Lord Cregan Stark, and there are whispers that he fell in love with a common woman in the North. Now, the North is so far away that they've actually been largely absent from this conflict until now. Now, these guys are called the Winter Wolves because this is a force of about 2,000 really old, grizzled Northmen who just marched south. And this is why Cregan Stark's other forces are traveling by ship down to King's Landing. Now, in the North, it is customary for old men to leave their homes in the dead of winter to make sure there's enough food for the young people. So basically, these are a bunch of old dudes who left home to die. They have battle axes and rusty armor and nothing to lose. They are very badass.
Okay, they sound like Marines.
Now, this fight is probably the Butcher's Ball, which is a terror campaign that is waged by Criston Cole. And we see Criston Cole strangling a man because, look, this is a guy who is struggling to prove that his contributions in this world even matter.
Oh, he's struggling to prove he's not vagina cookies. Because what am I going to do? I'm a man fighting against an army of people and dragons. What are we doing here? I get it, but yeah, you pussy.
There's people riding giant death beasts over his head. And this is intercut with Daemon cutting through a knight in the Red Keep during the Battle of King's Landing. Alicent warns Aemon that they are vulnerable here.
Rhaenyra will send her new dragons here.
And this could be maybe why Aemon leaves. Maybe he wants to surrender King's Landing so he can go off and eventually win the war. That is, unless Alicent was lying to Rhaenyra and planning a double cross. So the total dragons in the war are now 7 dragons for the Blacks and only 3 for the Greens. But one of those is Vhagar, the big mama that rode alongside Aegon Targaryen.
They got 7 dragons versus the 3, and one of them's Rhaegar on the other side. All they got to do is jump Rhaegar, and it'll be over and done with. But Rhaegar might be bigger than all the rest of those dragons
during the conquest. Now, here in the Battle of the Gullet, we see Jace's dragon, Virmax, and Jace is one of the commanders of the Black's fleet, along with Corlys. Then we see these shots of Rhaenyra locked up, which I don't believe are in the book at all. This could be that she's maybe locked up for her own safety while they fight for King's Landing, or maybe the battle doesn't go well and she's locked up by the Greens. Then we get a close-up of Aegon's scarred face and Rhaenyra crying. Now, each phase of this war escalates when either she...
Hold on, y'all see what I mean by maybe Rhaegar might be bigger than all of them?
Crying. Now, each phase of this war...
Rhaegar has a whole dragon in its mouth right now.
Or escalates when either she...
And the dragon is bigger than a human being.
Or Alicent lose a son. So... what's going to escalate the war this time? Who is going to lose a son at this phase of the battle? And this shot of Daemon screaming could be from the first Battle of Tumbleton, which is an absolutely brutal turning point for the war that, like I said, I'm not going to talk about here. You guys, I am beyond excited to be a Game of Thrones fan right now. We're about to get the finale of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is one of the best bits of Game of Thrones I've ever seen. This is getting to like the meat of this war. The battles are going to be huge and epic, bigger than anything we've ever seen in Game of Thrones before. I just hope that this season is able to stay focused on what I think is the real heart of this story, which is the relationship between Rhaenyra and Alicent. Remember, this whole conflict began with a great council, where it was decided that Jaehaerys' heir could not be a woman and it had to be Viserys. So
but he the king.
Not be a woman and it had to be Viserys.
They wanted sister there to be a queen, but they never gave it to her. It had to be a man, so they gave it to him. He wanted to break tradition, which is why he made Rhaenyra queen, and it's going against everything that they said.
Viserys. So the original sin of Westeros and of this entire war is sexism. And this season, we're going to see Rhaenyra tested more than she's ever been tested before. Again, I can't wait till the season happens so I can actually talk to you guys about it, but I don't want to spoil anything from the books. But let me know what you thought of the trailer down in the comments below, or you can at me on.
Salute to Ryan Airy, man. That was a breakdown of the Game of Thrones House of the Dragon season 3 trailer, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all hype? Everybody that does watch that show, y'all hype to see it returning? It's returning back in June, by the way. Get your HBO Max game up, or get your bootleg site game up. I don't know what y'all gonna do, man, but I'm gonna be there for that one. Yeah, that shit fire. You feel me? Okay. Once again, your man can't stop crashing out. Your man can't stop crashing out. That boy Jim Jones, he can't stay out of the viral news, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Is it cool being viral? Is it that much of a need to be viral that you're willing to just do weird stuff and don't care how you look on camera, don't care how you sound to people, just you willing to just go all out because you figure you're gonna make some money on the back end because it's gonna go viral. Is going viral really worth your dignity? You know? I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me, man. But all I'm gonna say is, man, take it from one person to another. This is a cautionary tale of you need to pay your bills. Y'all check this out. This is by way of All Urban Central. Y'all know we love them. Don't forget to give them a like, comment, and subscribe. Hold on, y'all. All right, right here. Y'all check this out, man.
Yo, nah, this is getting disrespectful and hilarious at the same time. So
50 Cent says Jim Jones wired over $200K to his landlord and gets to stay in the studio to record the 10 years. Y'all know I had to sound that word out. That's messed up. The Senior Citizen podcast. Come on now. I'll leave the niggas alone, man. Salute to Jim Jones and all them in the Let's Rap About It junk, man.
Seedance is back trolling Jim Jones, and this time he's allegedly exposing a video of Jim kicking in the door, talking about notices, rent issues, and trying to paint the narrative that Jim got evicted.
Oh.
What's up? What happened?
Hold on, nah, hold on. You ever call somebody minding your fucking business and now you upset because they might like ain't nobody tell you to come out in the hallway, lady? What's up? What's up? You need something? No? How you mad at her for coming to see what was wrong? Let me run this back. Oh, it says 50 Cent releases footage of Jim Jones not being able to get into his podcast studio after being evicted. 50 Cent reacts to Jim Jones getting evicted. Damn, bro, this wouldn't happen if we was friends. Want to be friends? I don't know. Let's rap about it. Hey, 50's a bully, bro. Come on now.
Evicted.
You hear him coming upstairs talking crazy already. I hear Jim Jones in the background. He said, fuck is you talking about? I know what he just said. Fuck is you talking about? They're not gonna let me in my motherfucking podcast room. Watch what I do. Watch what I do up here. Yeah, I dare somebody to stop me. Fuck is you talking about? I'm about to go up here and get in some stupid ass trouble. Watch this.
You heard Jim? He cut the lights off.
Did my man say they cut the lights off?
He cut the lights off. Not supposed to. You heard Jim? He cut the lights off.
Hey, boy, you should have did leg day, boy.
What's up? What happened?
You heard the way he just came at the old lady. What's up? What happened? Go back in your fucking apartment, lady.
Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine. My problem. All right? You got something to talk about.
This is my property. You got a problem? Call somebody. This is my problem. This is my property. You got a problem? Call somebody. If I'm his homeboy, I'm going to go get back in the car. I'm out because you just told her to call the police, bro. We out. You just told her to call the police, man. Ain't nobody trying to go to jail tonight, nigga. I got weed on me. Come on, bro. Here's the eviction notice on the door. Oh, they actually gave my man an eviction notice on his door. Damn. This picture of 50 is killing me right now, bro.
You got the lights on. You're not supposed to, you heard, Jim? You got the lights on.
Nah, they petty for that.
What's up? What happened? Yeah, I'm good. No, it's mine. My problem.
This happened yesterday. Damn. Y'all see the date? This happened yesterday.
All right? You got something to talk about.
You got a problem? Call somebody. What? I'm out. Oh man, this.
But Jim Jones just responded in a real time, and the response is low-key genius. I'm not gonna hold you, because instead of typing a paragraph, Jim pulled up wearing what looks like the same outfit from the viral clip that started showing off martial art moves with Bruce Leroy in the back, talking about show enough.
Yeah, that's right. Bow, sucker. Yeah.
Nah, not Jimmy said he the Shogun of Harlem. I kick down doors. All right. I karate chop niggas, all that. All right. I guess, again, spin it into being viral. I guess instead of worrying about your dignity, turn it into something crazy. I guess. I don't know.
Bows down to your master.
It's almost like he's saying, y'all got jokes, but I'm outside and I'm good. Now let's break this down. This all comes after 50 Cent recently went on another one of his classic internet runs and started clowning Jim Jones online. We already seen 50 reposting old clips, making jokes, and even bringing up that fake designer shirt situation from back in the day.
That was his clothing line, man. I used to rock a lot of that Vampire Life. That was just his clothing line, bro. Y'all niggas wild. But y'all buy that shit from the fucking Africans, though, right? Okay.
Calling it Vucci, but I digress. If you know 50, he don't just troll once. He stacks it up, he keeps poking,
hold on,
and he waits. He stacks.
That tenant was served a 15-day notice. No, this is nasty. This is not. How does 50 get all of this, man? Like, is this somebody in Jim camp? Like, how does he getting all of this paperwork and all this information like he be knowing before everybody else knowing? That boy 50 got his hands in everything.
It up, he keeps poking, and he waits for a reaction. Then now, boom, another clip surfaces allegedly showing Jim in a heated situation involving a door, notices, and what people online are saying is some kind of landlord rent issue. And of course, the internet instantly ran with it. 50 Cent exposed Jim not paying rent. Jim got evicted. 50 got the landlord on the phone.
Oh, no, he didn't. Come on, man. 50, leave these niggas alone, bro. They don't want no smoke. Come on, man. And then that also tells me, okay, so that just tells me Jim asked Dave East, Fabulous, and Mano to be on the show. This wasn't a collective thing that they actually brought together. Yeah, because he the one paying all the bills. Got it. Okay.
On the phone.
Trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want like 6 months of build out and ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's like insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000.
I just want to know, how did 50 Cent get access to the camera? Because
that's what I'm saying. Jim, scrub your whole team, bro, because access to a camera, getting the landlord number, getting the paperwork, the eviction notice that was on the door. Like, how does 50 have all this, bro? You got to start asking yourself who you got around you. This too close to home. Y'all tell me in the comments if I'm tripping. This too close to home. He know too much. You know too much of that man business for it not to be somebody around you.
It's given, big brother. Now, whether every detail is true or not, the point is the narrative went viral fast. But Jim Jones didn't come back with like a long explanation at all. He came back on some calculated street energy. Same fit, same vibe. And now he's moving around with Bruce Leroy, showing martial arts and looking unbothered. That's a very specific type of response. It feels like Jim is saying, I see what y'all doing and I'm not ducking it. I'm turning it into content. So basically making jokes.
That is very much a way to spin it and bring it into your favor. But that definitely was a crash out on camera. You got to scrub your team. Who you got around you?
Poking fun at all those martial art kicks.
Salute, my boy.
And honestly, that's probably the smartest way to respond when 50 Cent is trolling you. Because once 50 gets a reaction, he wins. But if you troll back without looking emotional, yeah, now the internet starts debating who really won the round. And what makes this hit harder is this ain't no random beef. These two have had tension and slick shots for years. So every time 50 posts Jim is never just a joke. It comes with history.
He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper.
I kind of feel like 50 might be picking on Jim on Cam's behalf. I kind of feel like that's why he doing it. Like him and Cam really might be cool, you know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, this is one of the last interviews that 50 Cent did, like a hip-hop interview. This is one of the last interviews he did, and it was with Cameron. So, yeah, I kind of feel like he picking on Jim on Cam's behalf.
At all. Right. So when balling took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot murder to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch and see how he responds.
Then you watch and see how a motherfucker move, making it sound like Jim bit at the first chance to slide on the ops and go do something on your own. Shit did make Jim look silly.
Did you see? He like, Oh shit, he really like that. give me this. Give me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want him. We want you at the show, Jimmy. Yeah, but that was one of those things I just threw it out.
And that's why people are so locked in right now, because his latest situation feels like an old beef resurfacing, public humiliation, and obviously Jim refusing to look shaken. And that's viral trifecta. Low-key, Jim's response might actually be the best move possible, because if he started posting receipts and arguing in the comments, 50 would cook him for like another week or so. But popping out wearing the same fit and doing martial arts with Bruce Leroy on the projector, that's meme-worthy, that's repostable, and that flips the energy from, damn, Jim, got exposed. So,
Hey, I totally 100% agree. Totally 100% agree. Salute to all Urban Central, man, for that one. Yeah. Was that a crash out, or did Jim crash out and then spin it into his favor? Should he not have done it at all? Does he need to vet his whole team? Because I feel like there's too much information being given to 50 Cent and not to be somebody right next to you that's giving up videotapes, giving up documents, giving up photos. Shit, we've seen footage of somebody in the room taping Jim Jones talking about the lights getting cut off, and they was right in the room with him. It's somebody on his team. I just thought about that. It's somebody on his team. That's nasty work, because whoever it is, he probably feeding that motherfucker, man. Or he might not be. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Got a little bit of MCU news over here, man. For Avengers Doomsday. Hearing word to the ground of some of the fight scenes and some of the fights and the matchups we might see in the movie. It's all speculation, all theory, of course. But we're gonna check out this is my man Cosmic Wonder. I always love his work. Let's check it out. Don't forget to give him a like, comment, and subscribe.
Avengers Doomsday is said to start off with an action-packed fight scene and never take its foot off the gas. It's supposed to start off huge and really never slow down, according to many different insiders at this point in time. And we know that there are going to be just a ton of fights throughout this entire movie in many different shapes and forms. For example, we know that there's going to be an Avengers versus the X-Men scene. We also know that there's probably going to be a multiversal Avengers team assembled by Loki that goes up against Doctor Doom. We've also heard that the Thunderbolts, or the new Avengers, might possibly fight the OG Avengers at first in a little kind of civil war as they kind of debate or fight because they have differences of opinions of Doom and how to go about saving the multiverse. We know there's going
I like all those fights so far. To
be a ton of fights. And unlike Avengers Infinity War, where we had multiple teams separated from each other, never coming together to actually fight against Thanos, we've heard that yes, the teams will kind of be dispersed a little throughout the entire movie, but we've heard they ultimately do come together to all fight against Doctor Doom, in which we assume they're still going to lose because Secret Wars is supposed to be Battleworld. Plus, we've seen those leaked photos of Doctor Doom on his throne with Doctor Strange to his side and Sue Storm and Franklin Richards on the other side. So we assume Doom still wins. But
that is going to look so crazy, man, because I have a theory that when Doom reshapes the world into Battle World for Secret Wars, he's going to be one of the people that remembers what the old world was like. Doctor Strange, I mean. Everybody else around him, outside of the people that are on the other side, the opposing side, the revolution, the resistance against Doom, they're going to remember what the old world was like, and that Doom is actually a bad guy in the way that he did all this. Now, we very well could see Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom painted as a hero, like he's just trying to save the multiverse and put back things together before everything is destroyed. But nobody never said you didn't have to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. You definitely got to crack a few eggs. He's going to do whatever he's got to do to save the multiverse, if that's his actual aim. Me personally, I think it's to steal everybody's power, make the universe in the way that he wants it, and him be the ruler of it. That means that this version of Dr. Doom probably had a horrible life, and he just wants a redo. And he want Reed Rich's bitch.
Throughout the entire movie, there are very specific fight sequences that are supposed to happen. Most of them kind of what we've heard so far are all relating to Avengers versus the X-Men, which is going to be a pretty crazy scene. But Fandom Wire put together a list of all of the fight scenes that we are supposed to get that have been reported on or rumored so far for Avengers Doomsday. So let's go over them, because this movie, if these fight scenes happen, it's going to be just absolutely insane. Now, the first one is Loki versus Doctor Doom. I feel like this one, even before we...
Loki versus Dr. Doom. This is God of Stories Loki, the one that was at the end of Loki season 2. He's literally the battery for the multiverse right now. He's literally sitting on the multiversal throne and holding the multiverse together. I think that gives him a little bit of a power upgrade. Remember they said in Loki season 2 that, no, it's actually season 1. Maybe we're stronger than we actually know we are. He's telling him and his variant Sylvie. Him versus Dr. Doom, possibly the greatest Marvel villain ever. I don't know. I think he still get Loki out of there. Just pure determination.
Kind of knew anything about Avengers Doomsday, when we heard that it was Doom and we basically saw that it was Doomsday and Secret Wars, we all pretty much knew that Battleworld was going to be coming in Secret Wars. We obviously realized that for Doom to kind of take over the multiverse or for it to be destroyed, he's going to have to come in contact with Loki, because he's kind of holding everything together right now. So somehow we knew Doom was going to be going up against Loki. In fact, early reports told us that Doom is actually after Loki. He's specifically seeking him out because, well, again, he's holding the multiverse together. This scene is going to be what I would assume is very magical.
That means it might be in a way of when Doctor Strange fought Sinister Strange, but like times 10. I can't wait to see that. They got to shoot that. They got to get this right. I can't wait to see that.
Sorcery. Just a visual masterpiece is what I can envision in my head for this fight scene, because Dr. Doom has tech and he has magic. Loki should kind of have the same, since he's basically in charge of the TVA. He should have access to some TVA tech, but I am assuming that Dr. Doom does as well, and they both, of course, have magical capabilities. Who knows what Loki has ascended to since we last saw him? Who knows, looking into the multiverse, what he has learned and what he has seen?
He's gotten a power upgrade. This ain't gonna be no easy fight for Doom. I don't think so.
I'm assuming that he's seen Dr. Doom and has an idea of what he can do, but probably hasn't witnessed his full potential. So this scene should be incredible. The next one, if we see this, which I do believe we are in some way, shape, or form, but when we see this, I should say, I think people's minds are going to melt. Mine melts just thinking about it. Mr. Fantastic, Cyclops, and Captain America versus Dr. Doom. I love
3v1
is essentially
Mr. Fantastic, Captain America, and Cyclops versus Dr. Doom. Yep, pretty much just like how this picture is gonna look right here. He gonna cook all three of them fast as shit. Oh man, he really don't like Reed Richards, so it's already finna go down. Oh, this is gonna be a firefight, because that's basically the three heads of the three teams: the X-Men, the Avengers, and Mr. Fantastic. That's gonna be a crazy fight. Mind you, this is still Robert Downey Jr. behind this mask, and nobody knows. So he's gonna be up. When these fight scenes come up, they have to cook. They have to cook.
The leaders of the teams, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men. And before you talk about Chris Evans as Captain America not being the leader of the Avengers team because Sam Wilson's supposed to be the leader. Well, the Russo brothers just did a whole big long article in Empire magazine about how the story basically is not necessarily centered around Steve Rogers. Chris Evans is Captain America, but he plays a major role in the movie. And he's going to reunite with the rest of the heroes. So I think he takes charge again. I think he becomes the leader again. This should be a pretty incredible scene. I think I don't think Dr. Doom wins too easily, but he wins, right? Like
these scenes gotta cook. I'm telling you, when it comes to these fight scenes, first of all, just for the mere fact that my man Cyclops got done dirty in the original X-Men trilogy. He got done dirty. I hated it because he was way better of a character than everybody gave him the credit for. Now that trailer totally redeemed him. By the way, those Marvel versus Capcom video games, that little optic blast he got and how quick he is and how good he is hand to hand, those video games did him right. He's never been done right live action. Salute to X-Men 97 season 1. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. Cyclops is that dude, y'all.
Going against Captain America could have some good strategies against him, but keep in mind, Doom is also a genius, but Cyclops is a tactician. And hopefully the MCU, the Russo brothers, do him way more justice than he was done in the past. Hopefully it's more like X-Men 97 and not like the first X-Men film. And Mr. Fantastic, he has more fight scenes we're going to talk about. They really have to show him in a way different light than they showed him in the Fantastic Four First Steps, because if they show him like they showed him in that, he probably doesn't really stand a chance in these fights. But let's continue on. This one, when I heard about, I thought could be, and probably will be, very interesting to see. The Sentry / the Void against Professor X.
Whoa. Bob versus Charles. Chuck, as he's affectionately known by Deadpool. Bob is cool, and he drunk that, or he was injected with that, basically the gold version of the super soldier serum, but he got mental issues. Professor X is like the mind. The first thing you think about when it comes to Professor X is the mind. The things that man could do with his mind, and he's toned down. Imagine if he had to really take it there. By now, this is an OG Professor X. His experience in the fight game, especially if they go mental, if they go in the mind, and we get to see it, man, he finna smack that youngin all around that little mental astral plane. It ain't gonna be nothing nice at all.
Original leak that we heard about this was that Professor X tries to essentially rid Sentry of the Void, which is really interesting because if he does that, then we will essentially have Sentry without the dark side, which means he should be in full control of his powers, which means he should be a formidable foe against Dr. Doom. Physically, at
Agreed.
least. But once Dr. Doom starts to use some sorcery, that might be a different story. But nonetheless, that should be an incredible fight. So I think they fight at first because it's more of the Void taking over Sentry. And I think Professor X goes inside of his mind and tries to rid him of the Void. Hopefully, it doesn't end up like Multiverse of Madness when Professor X tried to go inside of Wanda's head and it was deleted pretty much.
Oh, I remember that. I thought he was going to get Wanda out of there. Wanda snapped his neck like a 90s movie. I said, oh, not you kill Professor X. It was quick, too. He couldn't do nothing about it.
Much very easily, it seemed. I really hope we don't see Professor X die again. I think the audience is split like 50-50 so far on whether they think he's going to live or die. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, let me know who you think would win these fights. Moving on to the next one. This one I thought was interesting. Captain Marvel versus Monica Rambeau. I don't know about this one because I don't really.
Captain Marvel finna get Monica Rambeau out of there, and it's purely because she doesn't fully know how to use her powers just yet. I want to roll with the sister, but this is eons of this is years of Captain Marvel fighting with her powers, knowing what to do. You just got your powers. You just learned how to fly last movie in the Marvels. Yeah, nah. Then again, you don't piss off. No, yeah. I don't know. The queen might pull up. She might pull up. I know this might be a good one. Yeah, this might be a good one. I'm kind of tired on this one.
See how or why they would fight, unless they were somehow manipulated and possibly being controlled by Doctor Doom. Because from what we've heard, Captain Marvel's whole MO in Avengers Doomsday is finding Monica Rambeau, because that's where we left off at the end of the Marvels. She went to a different universe. We know she's with the X-Men. We know our Avengers are going to the X-Men universe, but they have been painted as the villain. According to some leaks that we've heard, Doom is basically going to tell them, hey, the X-Men are the villains because they've been destroying all these other universes. But we've heard they've been destroying these other universes because they have been dealing with incursions, and that's the only way to survive. But it's easy to see how Doom could paint them as the villains. This one doesn't quite make sense to me unless they are somehow being brainwashed or mind controlled in some way.
I could see Doom siding with the 616 Avengers and lying to them, like he said, and telling them that the X-Men are the bad guys because they've been out there destroying all of these universes. Monica was right there with him destroying shit. You need to get your own girl. They're going to look at Captain Marvel and say that. You need to get your own girl. She around here destroying universes and shit. Kicking it with blue furry animals and shit. Yeah, you need to go get your home girl. She went to that other universe and got crazy on us. So yeah, we could end up seeing that fight.
Way, shape, or form. This one I think is going to be really cool. I'd love to know who you think would win this one. Captain America versus Cyclops. My money's on Cyclops because I love Cyclops.
I am tied on that. Captain America versus Cyclops. MCU Captain America. And we don't know. Here's another thing that we don't know about. We don't know the strength level of these mutants. If y'all can remember in the original 3 X-Men movies, the X-Men had like strength and all of that, but unless like it was that character's like power to be extra strong, like they kind of were kind of regular a little bit. But like Deadpool and Wolverine had enough strength to throw Deadpool through a cinder block wall. Like he threw him through some stone. So I'm just on some, we don't know the strength level of these mutants. I kind of have a theory that mutants naturally age slower in the MCU. And then some mutants might even have a power where they have like literal, you know what I'm saying, slowed down aging. But I think all mutants have a slowed aging type thing going on. And yeah, that just like naturally comes within their DNA. They have slowed aging.
This is going to be cool. You can already imagine like Optic Blast going off against the Shield. Hopefully they take some pages from the comics where
some slower than others
and bounces it off of different surfaces and uses his tactician mind. And physically, you know, Captain America does have the super soldier serum. So it should be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Captain's going to use the shield to deflect the optic blast and get close to him. But hopefully they'll show him using his optic blast to kind of push himself away and maybe even blast up into the air and then catch himself as he falls like we saw in X-Men 97.
Write that shit, my boy. The shit they did in X-Men 97, just go back and ask, bro, what else would you do? You got a hit.
Who do you think would win this fight? This next one,
I'm tired on this one. Cool. I don't know. I'm tired on this one. Captain America versus Cyclops. I'm tired on this one. I don't know who will win, but this is going to be an awesome fight if they do 1v1. And it is MCU Captain America versus basically live action X-Men 97 Cyclops. That is going to be a fire ass fight.
Combat when I first heard about it, Yelena versus Mystique.
Mystique always had the whole agility and being able to fight and all that. So this version of Mystique, This version of Mystique and the new Black Widow, White Widow, whatever you want to call her. I don't know. I think Mystique gonna get her out of there. I ain't gonna lie to you. She was. If you go back and watch them original X-Men movies, man, when she was Mystique, the older version of her, man, she was kicking ass, putting grown men down. You know what I'm saying? Slipping and flipping and tripping and blipping everybody. Fast as hell. That's why I said I think mutants have a certain sort of obviously they all have kind of like a superhuman strength, so to speak.
It's gonna be a fun fight because and Mystique's probably gonna fight multiple people and turn into them as she fights them, or turn into somebody else as she fights them to confuse them, but also to confuse their allies. So you can see how Yelena starts fighting Mystique. Mystique turns into Yelena, sorry, and people are like, "Oh no, which one's the real one?" But
if I'm not mistaken, can she do that person's powers? No, she can't do that powers. Can Mystique do that person's powers if she turns into them? No, I don't think so.
It's kind of a classic, thing that they've done in TV and in movies, etc. But I think this will be a very good hand-to-hand combat fight. But let me know what you think. Who do you have winning? This next one, this is going to be a cool one, but it's kind of weird because anyone going up against Dr. Doom, you kind of just imagine that they lose.
Stop it. So you mean to tell me y'all brought Channing Tatum back, finally got him in this Gambit outfit, and you're probably going to do a little bit more edgier / futuristic version of him for Doomsday. Y'all going to bring this man back to kill him off in the very next movie. Because if he 1v1 Dr. Doom, he's out of there. Same shit that happened to his ass on X-Men 97. We're going to see his ass getting cooked again. They call me the Gambit. They're going to get your ass out of there.
So the next one is supposed to be Gambit versus Dr. Doom. Now, in my last video, I also talked about Thor going up against Dr. Doom. And Thor getting his butt kicked is what we've heard.
Thor's a better match. Thor can possibly walk away from that fight with his ass whooped very badly, but he could possibly get away. Gambit, you out of there, buddy. Unless you like truly power up.
If the God of Thunder gets his butt kicked against Dr. Doom, and that's one of the fights, so I'll just throw that out there. But even though we kind of heard Thor's going to lose already, how do you think Gambit's going to do? Don't get me wrong, I love Gambit, and I think Doom beats just pretty much anybody anyways.
Gambit is cooked. So they brought this man back. I thought he was going to at least make it to Secret Wars, and then when they reboot the universe, he would then be the new Gambit that's, a part of the new X-Men that they're going to have inside of the MCU. Basically giving Channing Tatum a contract to where he's now in the MCU as Gambit. So y'all going to bring this man back just to kill him? Or are we going to bring a variant back? Like, what's going to happen? Because Gambit, you cooked. Channing, you cooked. I hope they paid your ass a lot of goddamn money.
This fight could be very cool visually, but I am kind of wondering what Gambit is going to do to fight Doom. How
Nothing.
Get up close. Obviously, he can charge cards. He's got a lot he can do, but I want to know what you specifically think he will do to kind of hold his own against Dr. Doom. I do think basically when there's this big battle going on, people are going to just go up to Doom and try to attack him. And I think this is where they'll kind of fail at first. I think there's going to be more than one big battle against Doom. And I think at first it's going to be not such a planned fight, but just like, some heroes going up against him. Let's take this guy on, and they just kind of go up against him with no plan. And then you see kind of like him, defeat one person, him defeat another, and people basically step up and try to fight him 1v1, which obviously is not a good idea going up against Dr. Doom. But
Man, he about to cook everybody. But so they're saying these fights, if I'm listening to what he's putting down here, these fights are probably fights that go on for longer than a few seconds, to where he don't just block some shit and then smack a motherfucker up. These are significant fights that we're gonna see in this movie. This movie is about to be crazy.
I think that's how we get some of these one-on-one Doom fights. So Unfortunately, I think every time Doom is up there, he wins, but you can let me know what you think about that. Now, the next one's interesting. We've heard a lot about this. Steve Rogers versus Peggy Carter. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean he's fighting his wife or baby mama. We don't know if they're married yet. I'm
They're married. It would only be right.
assuming they are. But we have heard also that there's going to be a variant of Peggy that's going to be on Doctor Doom's side. We've also heard that she might, not confirmed obviously, but she might be kind of a witch or have some type of magical or sorcery powers, which if she's with Doctor Doom, sure. Maybe
I don't know if I like that, man. Now Peggy Carter's a witch. Okay, is this a variant of Peggy Carter that's a witch? Now I got to deal with that. It is the multiverse saga. Okay, I'll allow it.
she could have taught him. He could have taught her. But this one's going to just be interesting because emotionally for Steve, it's going to be very hard, especially if he leaves Peggy and his son to go fight Doom. And then all of a sudden he's fighting not his wife, but someone who looks pretty much exactly like his wife because she's a variant of her. So this would be, it's going to be a really cool hand-to-hand combat scene, I'm sure.
See, this is leaning towards that theory that Doom has his own team of, variant and or evil versions of the Avengers with him. This is kind of leaning towards that theory now. Man, there's so much we could see.
And I would actually prefer if she was Captain Carter than like a witch, because then, Shield versus Shield, Super Soldier versus Super Soldier, and it's going to be really emotional for Steve. And you got to kind of wonder what the backstory for this Peggy Carter would be. But let me know who you think wins that fight. The next one we've heard about, and
if she's got sorcery, she's going to get him out of there. Think about the things we've seen Chaos Magic do, the things we've seen Doctor Strange's music, his magic do, Eldritch Magic. She could take Steve apart and put him back together again. Come on now.
I think if the movie starts this way, it's just going to be insane. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man specifically versus Wolverine.
Oh,
that's my cat.
Whoa, hold on. The GOAT, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man versus the GOAT Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. The variant that is in Deadpool and Wolverine that is in that 1005 universe over there with the other X-Men, I'm assuming, versus Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Yeah, that Wolverine's a killer. If he catches Spider-Man, he gonna get him out of there. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If Spider-Man doesn't hold back, this is going to be a crazy fight. If we get like a pissed off Spider-Man, this is going to be a crazy fight.
We have heard that in the beginning of the movie, originally we heard it was supposed to be the X-Men kind of going up against Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And we've even heard Sir Ian McKellen say that he's going to destroy New Jersey and flood it. Well, he didn't specifically say flood it. He said destroy it, but the comics show flooding. Then we've heard that it's actually Deadpool and Wolverine sent to destroy that universe or sent to fight Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I don't think they have the ability to destroy the universe. I think Magneto does, because to destroy the universe, you destroy the Earth. So go to the other Earth, take out the heroes, and then destroy it. So I think they might possibly be working with the X-Men, and they simply say, hey, Deadpool and Wolverine, go fight that spider guy. And that's how we get Spider-Man versus Hugh Jackman, or Wolverine. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man versus Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, which can't wait to see. And ultimately, I think they get on the same team, and I think they're going to be key players in Secret Wars. We'll have to wait and see. Who do you got money on? Who's winning?
Man, that dude is a killer. Hey, Spider-Man, if you don't bring that tough shit, you out of there. That dude gonna cut your leg off, hang you upside down, and beat you with it.
That Spider-Man or Wolverine? This one I think is going to be insanely cool. I'm actually really looking forward to this one. Shang-Chi versus Gambit. This is going to be a cool one. Really.
Shang-Chi with the 10 rings versus Gambit. I don't know. This might be a crazy 1v1 visually. Visually, this might really be a crazy 1v1, especially if they do the visuals right to where Gambit is really throwing them cards and you can see Shang-Chi throwing the rings, and oh man, Gambit kind of got hands, you know what I'm saying? He can fight too. So yeah, this is gonna be crazy.
Really cool. And I'm actually just really excited to see both of these characters return. I loved Channing Tatum as Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is one of my favorite movies. But obviously the martial arts, Gambit showed some decent skill in the form of almost kind of martial arts in Deadpool and Wolverine. But of course, it's mostly him charging his cards, his weapons, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. Especially if Shang-Chi has the 10 rings. We're still wondering if Doom is actually going to get the 10 rings or the bangles.
I forgot about the 10 rings and the bangles and how he might be on the lookout for those, because I believe he needs both of those artifacts to rewrite the universe. Maybe linking those is what's going to open a portal to the TVA, so he'll be able to find Loki. That could be it. He puts the bangles and the 10 rings together, and it opens the portal and has him right in front of Loki.
We don't know yet.
And we still don't even know what the 10 rings are. You know, the theory is that it's old Kang tech, like crazy Kang tech.
But this should be a really great fight. Who do you got? Who's winning? This next one is interesting, but Mr. Fantastic versus Deadpool. The reason I think it's interesting is because, again, if they show Mr. Fantastic like they showed him in the Fantastic Four First Steps, Deadpool should kill him.
I don't know, man. You're not killing Pedro Pascal, but I don't know. You're not going to kill him. He might try. He's going to say something awkward when Pedro Pascal wrap his whole body around him. He's going to say something really weird and Mo. I do know that.
Unless he can figure out how to really make his body elastic and absorb the blows from Deadpool, he's going to get cut in half. Now, I believe the Russo brothers are going to do a better job with him, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a better job with him, because I'm someone who personally didn't like too much how they portrayed his powers in the Fantastic Four First Steps. Like, Galactus was stretching him, and it wasn't
enough.
That much. He wasn't stretched that much.
It wasn't enough.
In the comics, nothing similar at all to how he does it in the comics. So I don't know if they're going to give a brief story about, in the time jump from the Fantastic Four First Steps to the post-credit scene, he learned how to stretch a lot more. He trained a lot more for combat. I hope they just say something quick like that, so when we see him in action, he's just a lot more stretchy and can absorb those blows from Deadpool, because Deadpool can regenerate. So
he gonna wrap himself around Deadpool like a giant hug. He gonna wrap himself all the way around and spin around him, and Deadpool gonna say something really lovely gentleman-like, and it's gonna make everybody laugh. He gonna say something like, if you wanted to get close to me, you could. It's gonna be something weird, I'm telling you.
Unless he learns how to do that, which I do believe he did, but unless he learns how to do that, Deadpool beats him. Then I think we've all heard about this one, Mr. Fantastic versus Nightcrawler. Alan Cumming, who plays Nightcrawler, spilled the beans about this, seems like forever ago now, because we've gotten so much information about the movie. But yeah, they confirmed this already, that he's fighting him. And
Mr. Fantastic should win this fight.
This should be a very interesting fight. I would say Nightcrawler kind of has the advantage, again, unless I would say Reed Richards has figured out how to really stretch a lot to where he could cover a lot of space to essentially capture and catch Nightcrawler as they're fighting. Again, we're going to get an Avengers versus the X-Men scene, and it seems like the Fantastic Four are on the Avengers side. Ultimately, everybody's going to come together, and they're going to fight up against Dr. Doom. That's going to be probably the grand finale, where they literally have everybody. So I think they go against him maybe somewhere in the middle. They don't have everybody, and they don't have necessarily the best plan to go up against him. They go up against him, they lose, he goes away trying to perhaps get to Loki. The Avengers and everybody assemble together, and then they take him on together, and then still end up losing. But that fight should be more of a match for Doom than any previous fight before.
Nah, if all of them roll up, and it's just one. I'm interested to see how that's gonna go down because they trying to put it like visually, he about to be worse than Thanos. You remember everybody, they 3v1 Thanos, and he shook everybody. Only person he had trouble with was Wanda. And that's she was pissed off. And I don't see Wanda nowhere in this lineup right now. Who knows? Maybe this whole evil Avengers situation, maybe Doom has Wanda on his side already, which is why he been cooking shit.
So these are just some of the reported and rumored fight sequences that are going to happen in Avengers Doomsday. Which one excites you the most? I would
salute to the boy Cosmic Wonder, man. Yeah, that's got me really, really interested in the possible fight scenes and the visuals that we really could see in Avengers Doomsday, which is coming out in December of this year. Evil Tony Stark. We finally get to see that. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. And salute to Cosmic Wonder. But tell me which one of those fights excited you the most. You know what I'm saying? I think out of everyone that I've heard, it'll probably be Doom versus Thor that excite me the most. That'll be the crazy fight. Or in Secret Wars, when we get Tony Stark Iron Man from a different universe or back in the timeline versus Dr. Doom. I think we're going to see that. They're going to need to go get Tony to get him out of there. But y'all tell me which fight was y'all favorite. All right, now, man, hold up. The Seedance 2.0. Have y'all been hearing about this app? The Seedance 2.0 app? Well, it's been making some crazy stuff. Like I said earlier, in a minute here, when us fans want a certain situation or they make a bullshit movie, fans is just gonna go ahead and throw that shit in motherfucking Seedance 2.0 and hit it and throw it on some damn YouTube and say this is how X, Y, Z should have ended. There's gonna be a whole lot of movies like that. This is how that post-credit scene should have went. Man, watch this. This is by way of Ayert. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right, hold on, y'all. We're going to go ahead and watch this and glide on out with the show, y'all. The Power Ranger versus the Ninja Turtles. Hold up. Conor McGregor versus the Hulk.
I'm sorry.
Oh, hell no. He killed like a bajillion people.
Right. Oh, shit. Stomping the shit out of the book. Nah, hold on. Did John Wick kick the dude and the gun out the way? Nah, we ain't gonna act like he ain't just do that. Funny. Him and Will. I don't know. Will we want to see Will do something like this, man? Him and John Wick might be kind of fire. That might be a kind of fire thing right there. If Will came back and he was an old school, one of John Wick's old friends, you not putting Will, that's too much money. You're not gonna put Will Smith next to Keanu Reeves in the John Wick universe. But I guarantee you, though, if they don't do something like that, now that this done sparked some shit, somebody will right here in Seedance 2.0. Kratos versus Thor.
You dare challenge the god
MCU
of
Thor.
I've slain greater than you.
Batman versus Captain America. Whoa. This should look like a PlayStation commercial.
You have my number, right?
Yes, of course, man. Yes, of course.
Oh!
Not
That's what
Kanye
I'm
in the
talking
office.
about.
Why so serious?
What? Spider-Man pulled. Nah, hold on. Wait, Spider-Man pulled the blick? Oh. The Hulk. 2004 Hulk versus. Oh, no, that's the MCU Hulk versus the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I told y'all.
You should treat me to a better drink. Don't even think about it. Get the most expensive bottle of wine. It's my treat. Are you kidding me?
That's 10. That Kirby versus Godzilla. They making crazy shit with this AI shit, bruh. Thor versus who? Whooping Thor ass. Damn. We drug Thor. Oh. Oh, that was all hands. Oh, shit. Get up, Wolverine. Good. Damn. I can see that. Brad Pitt versus Bruce Lee.
I'm lasering this whole place.
Stop whining. Pick a meal. Your temper is wasteful, boy.
Why so serious? Let's just put a smile on that waiter's face.
All three of y'all crazy. Okay. That's our Superman.
I regret not bringing bread or a bag of melon seeds. I think you should teach him a lesson.
Oh, man, your bitch ass need to stay out of that shit. People been wanting to see a Homelander versus Superman, like Henry Cavill Superman. Like Henry Cavill was getting him out of there. Shit. Oh. This is AI? Not Donald Trump versus Kim Jong-un. Oh, shit. That's wild. Ratu My man, you try to get over on my man. Back your shot. Spider-Man versus, is this Harley Quinn? Minions. This AI shit is going crazy, man. That's all the time that we got for the day, y'all. It's your boy Slave DiBiase.
You wanted to tell me something?
Y'all tell me which was the best fight y'all have seen today. What's the best segment you loved today? And it's the Offenders Evicted podcast. We about it.
Are you done?